Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 20th May 2024. So let's get started. So before getting started, I want to make a small announcement. As you all know that we are going to start this GS online and offline foundation course from 27th May 2024. So we are also offering 30 days free demo or free trail classes also. So if you want to take admission, so if you want to see the demo videos or if you want to attend the demo classes, you can come and you can attend 30 days free demo classes. And these demo classes we are providing both on offline and online mode. So for offline, you can come to class and you can listen this demo free classes for 30 days. And if you are watching on online, then we are going to provide 10 days of free live demo classes. So in this demo classes, classes will be taken by expert faculties of Delhi and you can assess their methods, how they are saying, so you can access their methodology and even the notes and as well as test. And in these 30 days, you can learn how to read Hindu newspaper and you will be getting idea of how to write a mains answer and as well as how to solve the prelims questions. So on the daily classes, we are going to provide mains questions and as well as prelims questions so that you will be also getting a knowledge regarding how to write answers and as well as how to solve these prelims questions. And do register now. So if you want to register, you can make a call on this number 8074765513 and this is the last opportunity. So don't miss this opportunity to take control on your education. Okay. So this is about our free 30 days demo classes. So do join that. And there are very limited seats, only 70 seats. So do register as soon as possible. Yeah, now let us see the front page of Hindu. And in this front page of today's Hindu, there is nothing much important. And here you can see one small infographic which says about elephant census. So in this elephant census, you have to know the important keyword is Project Elephant. So I will give you dimensions regarding how to read this article. Okay, so you have to know about Project Elephant. And this Project Elephant or elephant conservation is important from GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So in environment and ecology, we will be studying about different kinds of species like keystone species, umbrella species, flagship species. So you have to know this elephant comes under which species, whether it is a flagship or umbrella species or a keystone species. Okay, please let me know your answer in the comment box. And one more thing is daily, from Monday to Saturday, we are taking live on YouTube at 7 p.m. There I will be discussing important questions that are mostly expected in this year prelims. And if you want to clear prelims 2024, so do join that session every day at 7 p.m. Okay, I will be not giving many notifications. So every day at 7 p.m. you will be having this live on our YouTube channel from Monday to Saturday, and the topic of discussion is every day we are going to discuss 15 to 20 questions on most important and expected topics. And I will let you know tips and techniques how to read the statements and how to eliminate the statements. Clear? Okay, so here you have to know some facts regarding what is this Project Elephant and what are the aims and objectives of this, and what are the challenges of conservation of elephants. And actually these elephants are highly used because of human-animal conflict. Okay, because of human-animal conflict they are in use. So you have to see what are the measures taken by government. So one such measure is Plan B. Okay. And recently this human-animal conflict is seen highly in news, and even Supreme Court also gave the verdict. So you have to see that as well. And this topic is important from both your prelims and as well as from your mains. Okay, now let us see this topic in detail. Okay, so before that there is also one more article. So we are going to see this MGNREGA article first. Title says Tamil Nadu sanctions release of rupees 1229 crore for rural job scheme. So this article is talking about one rural job scheme. So it is nothing but MGNREGA scheme. So it is talking about which scheme? MGNREGA scheme. So what is a full form? Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So when we came up with this in year 2005, and this is Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. So how many days of guarantee employment? 100 days of guarantee employment in a year, and they will be getting minimum wages, and they will be getting job card, and role of panchayats had been increased because of this MGNREGA scheme. And even this MGNREGA scheme plays a very important role in achieving our sustainable development goals also. So you have to see which are those sustainable development goals and how can we achieve those by implementing this scheme. And especially this scheme is highly in news because of challenges, especially government said we have to use technology for attendance. But in many rural areas there is no proper internet network, and it is mainly one drawback that we can see. And next one is, even this MGNREGA is in news because of decreasing of funds to this MGNREGA. So what are the things that you have to see? You have to see basic facts. So what is the scheme about? What are the provisions of this scheme? And you have to see what are the advantages, what is the significance, and what are the challenges now we are facing, and what is the way forward, and which type of scheme is it, like centrally sponsored or central sector scheme, or you can see under which ministry it is implemented. Okay, so all these are important things that you have to see, and we are going to see this article first, that is MGNREGA scheme. Okay, so why it is in news? Now recently Tamil Nadu government has recently accorded sanction of so and so amount under this MGNREGA scheme for 2024 to 2025. So that's it. So now let us see the facts. So this MGNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, we came up in year 2005. And this law which passed by Indian government in year 2005, and it is guaranteeing right to work to rural citizens. It is not related to urban areas. It is related to rural areas, that to unskilled work. And under this scheme, government assures minimum of 100 days of unskilled manual work. So to whom? To an adult member of an eligible rural household. So the main important objective of this scheme, it is to provide employment opportunities to rural citizens and even to improve their economic conditions also. So what are the key provisions of this MGNREGA scheme? So first one is, you have to understand what is this eligibility criteria. So for receiving the benefits under this MGNREGA scheme, so the following eligibility criteria to be met. So what is that criteria? First one is, he or she should be Indian citizen. Next one is, at least they have to get 18 years of age at the time of application for job card under this MGNREGA scheme. And next one is, they should belongs to rural areas. And one more thing is, they are providing only unskilled manual work. They are not providing any skilled work. And next one is, under the scheme, here government is guaranteeing employment of 100 days. And they are going to get minimum wage. And also they will be getting unemployment allowances. So if work is not assigned within 15 days, then applicant is entitled to receive unemployment allowance. So how much means they will get allowance of 1/4 of minimum wage for the first 30 days. And next one is, they may get half for the following period. And next one is, social audit is very important under this scheme. So social audit, it is a powerful tool for social transformation, for even community participation, government accountability, and especially section 17 of MGNREGA, which mandated, yes, we can go for social audit of all the works executed under this MGNREGA scheme. And next one is preference of employment near residence. So whatever the employment which is provided under this scheme, so this employment will be provided in the nearby areas where the residence is there. Okay, so especially there is no need of traveling. So why? Because this work will be given within the radius of 5 kilometers from their place of residence. And next one is decentralized planning. So Panchayat Raj institutions, they take the lead role here, especially regarding what? In regarding planning of the scheme, or else like implementing and monitoring of the allocated executed works, and even Gram Sabha, which gives authority to suggest the work and which is required to at least half of the work. And this one is, which are those implementing agencies? So implementing agencies, they are responsible for providing proper working conditions, medical facilities and compensation, and the payments are made on weekly basis. It is also very important. Okay, so payments will be made on weekly basis and they cannot be delayed more than 15 days. And one more thing here is, complaints can be made and they have to be addressed within 7 days of time. So in this way, there is a lot of transparency and accountability is maintained in this type of schemes. And next one is, what is the significance of this scheme? So why? What is the importance? So first one is MGNREGA scheme, which is very helpful to improve infrastructure and as well as natural resource base of the rural poor. And because of this, it is also having the positive impact on environment. And this program has also helped to improve accessibility of basic services, for example, especially like water availability and sanitation, housing. So these are the basic amenities. So they will be also increasing the accessibility for the local people. And next one is compensating income loss. So as per the study which had been conducted by this Azim Premji University, so this study which had been conducted across 4 states, those are Bihar, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. So in the study they said that compensating 20 to 80% of the income loss is incurred because of this COVID-19 induced lockdown. And next one is, even preventing migration to urban areas had been achieved, because especially in this migration we can see rural to urban migration in search of livelihood opportunities or employment opportunities. Because in rural areas, people, they will be doing agriculture work, right? So if they are getting jobs in agriculture or work in agriculture, it is like a seasonal in nature. Only in some seasons like sowing, transplanting or harvesting, etc. In those seasons they will be having work. But if they are going to urban areas, they will be getting work constantly, right? So because of this scheme, so people, whenever they are getting jobs or whenever they are getting livelihood opportunities in agriculture, they will go and do that work. So in other remaining days, whenever they are not getting work in agriculture, they can do this work under this MGNREGA, so that it helped to prevent migration to urban areas. So the goal, it is also to decrease migration from rural areas to urban areas by utilizing untapped labor in rural areas. And next one is, even this scheme which is providing good livelihood opportunities. So it seeks to improve the livelihoods of rural poor, and even it will be helpful to create durable assets. For example, wells, ponds, roads and canals. And even we are going to have good right-based approach. So unlike previous employment guarantee schemes, so this scheme which aims to combat chronic poverty through right-based approach, and even that will be giving citizens a legal right to work. And next one is this program which incorporates accountability, and even it will be ensuring compliance and as well as transparency at all the levels. So in this way, this scheme is very important, and you can get 15 or 10 marker means question from this area, and even you can expect prelims based question from this MGNREGA scheme. Okay, now let us see this project elephant. As I said, this topic is important from environment and ecology, right? So if you see context, why it is in news, a synchronized elephant population. So estimation will be held. So actually we are going to have this elephant census. So like this tiger census, elephant census will also conducted in once in 4 years. Okay, so this is very important. And now let us see some facts regarding what is this Project Elephant. There is a high chance of getting question regarding this Project Elephant in this year prelims. So what is this Project Elephant? So when it was launched in year 1992, and it is a centrally sponsored scheme. That means the funding will be shared between center and as well as state. So such schemes are called as centrally sponsored. Even MGNREGA scheme is also a centrally sponsored scheme because the funds are shared between states and as well as central government. And what is the important aim of this project? Project Elephant. The name itself is saying to protect elephants and to improve habitats of elephants and elephant corridor, to reduce human-elephant conflict and to ensure the welfare of animals. Okay, that is elephants here in this case. So as many as 33 elephant reserves are there and they had been notified under this Project Elephant. So what are the objectives? The first one is to provide financial and technical support to wildlife management. So for wildlife management, we are going to provide financial and technical support. And next one is states for their free-ranging populations of wild Asian elephants. And this one is this project which aims to ensure the long-term survival of the population of elephants in their natural habitats by protecting them, their habitats and migration corridors. And this one is other goals of this Project Elephant. They are supporting the research of ecology and management of elephants. And not only that, we have to create awareness of conservation among local people. And we are also focusing on providing improved veterinary care for these captive elephants. So all these are the important aims and objectives of this Project Elephant. And now I want to give you one mains question, that is, Project Elephant has recently completed 30 years of its completion. Okay, Project Elephant has recently completed 30 years of its completion. So examine the performance of this initiative. So you have to examine the performance of the initiative and what other initiatives have been undertaken for elephant conservation in India. So try to write an answer for this question. Don't forget to write an answer. Clear? And now let us see next topic. So in the city page, there is nothing much important. You can simply leave this article or articles in this area. And in the states page, I discussed about this topic of MGNREGA. And you can directly move on to our editorial page. Okay, so here you can see a minor girl victim support scheme that lost its way. So this article is talking about especially POCSO. Okay, that is Prevention of Child from Sexual Offence Act, POCSO. POCSO Act of 2022. And this article is talking about especially section 4 and section 6. So here you have to know that. So let me give you some dimensions. So it is talking about Prevention of Children from Sexual Offence Act. So when we came up with this act? In year 2012. So it is talking about especially prevention of children. So to save or to ensure that children are safe or free from this sexual abuse. So this is the one important objective of this POCSO. But even though here, despite of this act it is present in India, but there are increasing of sexual offences case against children or increasing day by day. Will you accept it or not? Yes, if you open newspaper every day, there will be no newspaper without these articles regarding sexual abuse of children. Okay. So here you have to know what are the provisions of this act. And especially this article is talking about section 4 and section 6. You have to know them clearly. And next one is you have to see what are the challenges in implementing of this POCSO. and what is a way forward, and what are the advantages of this POCSO. All these are very important things, and you can expect a question from this POCSO in your mains, not from your prelims. Okay, now let us see the section 4 and section 6 of POCSO in detail. So this article is talking about Prevention of Children from Sexual Offence Act of 2012. So here on November 30, 2023, the Ministry of Women and Child Development notified a scheme for care and support to victims under this section 4 and section 6 of POCSO 2012. Okay, in 2023, our government came with a scheme for providing care and support for the children who had this sexual abuse under this POCSO Act of 2012. And the important objective of this scheme, it is to provide care, provide support and provide some assistance to minor pregnant girl child victims under one roof. And even if there is any need of emergency, the immediate emergency and non-emergency assist services will be given for these children who had victims, who are victims under this sexual abuse in a long-term rehabilitation. So this is the aim and objective of this scheme for care and support under this POCSO. Okay, so if you are talking about what is this POCSO Act of 2012, so the Prevention of Children from Sexual Offence Act, which came into force on November 14. So what is this November 14? We are celebrating it as a Children's Day, right? So on this Children's Day in 2012 itself, so it came into force. And this POCSO not only spells out the punishments for the offences, but even this POCSO is also involved in providing certain support to the victims, and even there are some improved methods they are using for catching offenders. So what is the section 4 of this POCSO? It is talking about punishments for penetrative sexual assault. Okay, for penetrative sexual assault, it is saying about this punishment. So this section which says that whoever is committing this penetrative sexual assault, they shall be punished with an imprisonment for a term, it will be not less than 10 years. But even that 10 years can also be extended to imprisonment for life. And even there is a liability of fine. They have to pay even fine. And whoever commits this penetrative sexual assault on a children who are below age of 16 years, they shall be punished with imprisonment not less than 20 years. And even it can be extended to imprisonment for life. Okay, and even they have to pay fine. So this fine imposed under this subsection 1 shall be just and reasonable, and that to be paid to victim to meet medical expenses and as well as rehabilitation of victim. And next one is section 6. Section 6 of POCSO is talking about punishment for aggravated penetrative sexual offence. So whoever is committing aggravative, that means severe, then they shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment with term, it will be not less than 20 years, and even it can be extended to life imprisonment also, and even fine. And the fine imposed under this subsection 1, it shall be just and it should be reasonable and should be paid to the victim for medical expenses and even for rehabilitation of the victim for the long term. So these are the important section 4 and section 6 of this POCSO. So you have to know this. And now let us move on to our editorial page. And here you can see one more important article. And here also this article, it is about Ukraine war and what is the stand of India. So yesterday or day before yesterday we discussed about this conference, right? So that is the thing which is given again. So you have to revise that topic. And next topic is towering hazard at the height of poor enforcement. So this article is talking about hoarding which had been found, and it is around 250 tons of hoarding because of dust storm it had been fell down, and that led to killings of lot of people and even injuries. Okay, so because of this is the news, and you may get this type of questions in disaster management. So now we can add this event as one more new disaster in India. Okay, so because number of times this type of incidents like falling of outdoor hoardings are happening, outdoor hoardings collapsing is happening. So because of this, it is causing deaths recently in many areas. So we have to include this as a disaster. Okay, it is like a man-made disaster. Okay, now let us see this topic in detail. So recently what happened, at least 16 people, they were killed when a massive 250-ton advertisement hoarding in Mumbai's Ghatkopar collapsed. So due to dust storms, so this 250-ton advertisement hoarding had been fall down. And in the wake of this tragedy, now it is important to examine the safety regulations pertaining to hoardings. Who is legally responsible for this event? So what are the safety norms which are applying to these hoardings? So as a local bodies, they will be giving permission for this advertisement hoardings. And in Mumbai, here we have Mumbai Municipal Corporation Act, so which says about the permission of municipal commissioner. It is very important for erecting such hoardings. And next one is we have policy of guidelines for display of advertisements 2018, and this law which makes structural stability certification from a registered structural engineer. And next one is the policy guidelines also says that hoardings existing as of May 1st, 2014, it should be reinstalled because we have to meet this standard requirements. And next one is even from technical perspective, BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, which lay out the specification for wind loads on hoardings. And it also gives a formula to how to calculate the force coefficient as well. So all these will be calculated by this BIS. So what led to this incident in this Ghatkopar? So first one is massive hoardings. They did not meet the size of the size norms. That is, they are not meeting the size. But it was not brought down by official agencies in spite of being highly visible hazardous structure. So even though it was visible like very hazardous structure, but no one had talked about this, about the size. And the safety norms were apparently liberalized. Okay, so that is also one problem. And next one here is MMC Act of 1888 provides some regulatory exceptions to hoardings on railway land. So these exceptions are being used. And next one is administrative lethargy. So the government of railway police cited that ongoing dispute with corporation for not enforcing safety laws on hoardings, and even there is no database which is available, okay, regarding BMC website on hoardings. And this one is there is also extreme weather events because of this dust storms and weakest infrastructure and deadly consequences that or the one important output that we can see because of this large hoardings. And now what can be done? So what is the way forward? So governments, they have to show due diligence to avoid the harm to citizens from official actions. So capacity building of administrative machinery is very important, and we have to reduce corruption, nepotism in this administrative level. It is the need of hour. And this one is advent of digital boards, which has brought with the possibility of moving displays and opening up of avenues for different advertisers, etc. And we have to focus on how can we strengthen our disaster management or disaster management practices of municipalities, and how we can deal with this crowded cities, etc. And climate change is also becoming one great challenge, and we have to review that as well. So these are some important steps that we can take to control this type of disasters. Clear? And now let us see the next topic. It is about generalized system of preferences. So this topic is also very important from your economy, and if you have gone through your WTO topic and India and US relations, so you might have came across this word generalized preferences of trade. So now let us see this topic in detail. So why it is in use? Because so this generalized system of preferences, it is between India and US. So US was earlier under control of Trump, right? So presidency of Trump. So during this time, Trump period itself, US revoked GSP of India in 2019. So because of this, again we are talking about whether we can come up with a renewal or restoration of this GSP. Okay, GSP is nothing but generalized system of preferences. So what is this GSP? So generalized system of preferences scheme, it is a voluntary trade measure and had been implemented by developed countries, and even that provide an advantageous or preferential tariff treatment to import from developing countries, and was instituted in year 1971 under the aegis of United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, that is UNCTAD. And these non-reciprocal benefits, so they had been extended by some developed countries to developing countries, and even more than 20 developed countries like Australia, Canada, Japan, New Zealand, Russian Federation and Switzerland, UK and US of America, they grant this GSP preferences. Okay, the exported goods, they have to, or they must, that means compulsory, mandatorily, they have to fulfill the requirements of rules of origin which laid by importing country to benefit from the GSP. And the rules of origin comprises a set of requirements, and these set of requirements which had been laid down by importing country, which products from developing countries. So they have to fulfill the eligible for preferential tariff treatment upon import in that country. And next one is rules of origin. So they are the criteria which used to define where the product was made, and those rules, they define the economic nationality of the goods. And if you see this GSP benefits for Indian exporters, so here Indian exporters, they got benefited from this GSP. Okay, so it allowed duty-free entry of certain products into US, especially products like textiles, engineering, gems, jewelry, and as well as chemical products. They had been benefited from this GSP. Clear? So this is about this topic, and next topic, it is about UAP, it is about news click editor. So already we discussed this topic, and let us have a brief discussion. Okay, so why it is in news? So recently Supreme Court gave an order to release this online portal NewsClick founder from custody after he was concluded that his arrest and remanded under this draconian law, that is UAPA, by this Delhi police was invalid under the eyes of law. So here Supreme Court said that no, this arrest is invalid, you have to release him. Okay, so this is about this context. And if you see here some facts regarding this UAPA, so Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. So when we came up in year 1967, and this legislation, it is a legislation out of reasonable restrictions. Okay, so actually under Article 19(1), so we have some reasonable restrictions like freedom of speech, right to assemble peacefully, and as well as right to form association. So under this, what are the exemptions are there? So they will be taken into consideration. So over years, so terror specific legislations we have like TADA, it is Terrorist and Disruptive Activities Prevention Act, and we have Prevention of Terrorism Act, that is POTA. So they were repealed after running into legal trouble, and UAPA became the primary anti-terror legislation in India. So in the line with the state's objectives, so UAPA punishes the commission regarding funding, support of unlawful activities, and as well as terrorist acts. So even it lays down the definition, the rules for designating an organization as an unlawful association. Okay, if you are engaged in this certain types of activities. So unlawful activity is nothing but it is any action. So it is any action. So by any individual or association, either it may committed by using the words or doing any action or speaking or written or any signs or any visible representation. So under this act, central government may designate any organization as terrorist organization, but they have to meet certain criteria. So that criteria is if they are committing or participates in any acts of terrorism. Next one is if it is preparing for terrorism or promoting terrorism or otherwise involved in terrorism. So in these activities, if there is any organization or any individual who is involving, then they can be declared as terrorist organization by the central government. So entire power is given to central government under this UAPA. So these are some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. Now let us move back to our Delhi edition. So I discussed about this GSP. I discussed about this text and context. You can move on to news page. Yes, in this page there is one article that is about critical priority pathogens continue to pose threat, says WHO. So here there are some list which is given by WHO that is about critical priority pathogens. So they are causing major global threats because they are having higher burden and they are having the power or ability to resist treatment and to spread resistance to other bacteria. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly updated by WHO. So for some examples, they are given like gram-negative bacteria resistant to last resort antibiotics, and even Mycobacterium tuberculosis is resistant to antibiotics like rifampicin, etc. So these are things which are mainly said. And even high priority pathogens such as Neisseria gonorrhoeae and Enterococcus faecium. So they are presenting unique public health challenges. For example, they are causing persistent infections and even they are showing resistance to antibiotics, and even we can't focus on targeted research and public health interventions. So these are some important things that you have to remember from this. What are these critical priority pathogens? And next one here is Army gets 2700 AK-203 rifles through joint venture. So this article is also very important from our defense point of view. So it is AK-203 assault rifles. And leave this election page, it is not at all useful for you students. And if you move on in this page also, I found nothing much important. Okay, that's it. So these are the very important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. And one thing is, you can call us on this number 8074765513 if you want to take free demo class. So for online only 10 days, for offline we are providing 30 days. So in these 30 days you can complete your entire geography by Vilas sir. And I will be taking strategy classes and also answer writing classes, case studies, and how to read Hindu newspaper and how to solve prelims questions. So all these topics will be done within this 1 month of free trial. And one more thing is, if you are searching for the best IAS coaching, so you can come here and you can take the demo classes, and after listening to the demo only you can go for admission. So this assurance we are giving, no one is providing this assurance as well. And there are very limited seats of 70 only. So come fast and register soon, or else you can call on this number 8074765513. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this class, and if you really like this class, hit the like button, and please do share this class with your friends and as well as the groups which you are part of, and do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. And thank you so much for watching.